The alarm bell over Grand Central Oak started clanging at dawn, and its frantic bong 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 rattled every hollow from Birch Boulevard to the Fern District. Squirrels, sparrows, and bleary-eyed badgers poked heads out of their residences, blinking against the orange sunrise. In the penthouse knot of the Knot and Coil Detective Agency, Finnegan O'Nutt dropped his half-brewed pine needle espresso and bolted upright. "Pip," he hollered, "sound like trouble?" The office door swung open to reveal Pip Chesterton, an overeager chipmunk intern wearing a trench coat that trailed behind him like a deflated parachute. "If trouble's got a sound, Chief, that's it. It's coming from the Treasury Vault." Finnegan's bushy tail bristled. "The city's Acorn reserves?" He puffed out his chest, toasted by 15 consecutive wins in the Woodland Weekly's most consistently overconfident private eye poll. "Grab the evidence satchel, kid. Time to earn your whiskers." They scampered out, traversing the Rope Bridge Expressway that webbed the treetops. Below, the woodland city of Arborville bustled, hedgehogs on scooters, robins running beacon beak coffee stands, a freight line of beavers pushing lumber panels through rush hour. But above everything loomed Grand Central Oak, heart of the metropolis and storage place for millions of carefully cataloged acorns. Winter insurance for every resident. The front doors of the vault gaped open like a dragon's jaw. Uniformed Blue Jay constables flapped about, squawking orders. Inspector Talon, a graying hawk with a limp wing, stood at the entrance with his feathers in a kink. "Detective O'Nutt," he croaked, half respectful, half annoyed. "Please tell me you're not here to complicate things." Finnegan tipped an imaginary fedora. "Complication is relative. Show me the scene." Inside the echoing, hollow, velvet bags meant to bulge with acorns drooped empty. Metallic racks leaned as if embarrassed to be so naked. The treasury symbol, a golden nut encircled by laurels, hung crooked, having lost its sense of purpose. Finnegan paced in slow figure eights, tapping his magnifying monocle against one paw. "Locks?" Finnegan asked. "Gnawed clean off," Talon replied, holding up a twisted brass latch bearing distinct teeth marks. "Classic squirrel bite radius," Finnegan observed. "But too neat. Whoever chewed through had orthodontic work." He squinted at Pip's chipper grin. "Not you." Pip blushed. "I wore braces. I still can't chew through a toffee wrapper." Finnegan continued. "Any witnesses?" Night ship security owl nodded off. Talon ruffled his feathers meaningfully. "He claims he was hypnotized by an unusually rhythmic cricket," Finnegan grunted. "We'll circle back to Mr. Rhythmic Cricket. Rap sheet?" Talon flapped a wing toward a stack of files. "Preliminary suspect list. Rollo Ringtail the raccoon. Known fence. The Magpie twins. Kleptomaniacs with wings. Mistress Hazel Chatterworth. The Treasury Comptroller. Opportunity galore. Benny Beaver and his union unhappy about new reservoir taxes. Take your pick." Finnegan's tail swished like a conductor's baton. "Pip, dust the racks for prints." Pip produced a puffball mushroom filled with luminescent spores. He squeezed. Neon dust coated the metal. Tiny paw prints glowed. Mostly squirrels, some bird claws, and one set oddly smudged with a swirl pattern. "Shell polish residue," Finnegan muttered. "Somebody buffed their prints but missed a spot." Inspector Talon tried to hide a smirk. Brilliant deduction, Detective Obvious. Finnegan did not take the bait. "Inspector, I assume you've already dispatched patrols to Rollo's night market?" Talon stiffened. "Yes." "Good." Finnegan turned on his heel. "Pip, we fly." "Technically we scamper," Pip said. "Semantics." They left the echoing vault and headed for their first stop, Ringtail's Black Market Bazaar, behind the municipal recycle bins. The bazaar was a multi-level labyrinth of crates on crates, and crates within crates. Rollo believed in brand consistency. Finnegan approached the raccoon kingpin, who lounged atop a stack of counterfeit compost labels. Rollo's striped tail flicked in slow arcs. "O'Nutt," he rasped. "Here for my autograph?" Finnegan flashed a grin. "Got a fresh shipment of acorns you'd like signed?" Rollo feigned hurt. "I'm strictly in reclaimed goods. Perhaps you'd like a gently used hummingbird feeder?" Finnegan crossed his arms. The entire city reserve disappeared between second and third moon chime. "You're the most convenient sink," Rollo chuckled, throat like gravel in syrup. And you're the poster child for projection. Search my bazaar, Finnegan signaled. Pip pried open crates. They found counterfeit hazelnut cream labels, illegal glitter, and a suspiciously large supply of mitten warmers, but no acorns. When Pip cracked crate 32, a spring-loaded bouquet popped out with a note. Try again, Nutbrain, love R. Finnegan fought the urge to karate chop something. Cute. I aim to entertain, Rollo said. But if you're hunting acorns, word on the branch is somebody's already trading them down the river market prices spiking. Finnegan's whiskers twitched. You got ears on who's buying? Rollo tapped his mask-like eyes. Everything's for sale, detective, even rumors. Finnegan tossed him a shiny bottle cap, legal currency in certain circles, talk. Buyer calls himself the borrower, uses encrypted pigeon post. Pickup scheduled tonight at Dockleaf 12. That's all you get for a cap. It'll do. If you're lying, I never lie. Rollo purred, I emit passionately. Back in the treetop thoroughfare, Pip bounded beside Finnegan, who muttered calculations. Given warehouse capacity, River Market could offload 30 sacks an hour. We have till nightfall. But first, Magpie twins. The Magpies, Juniper and Jinx, lived in a high-rise dead pine, interior decorated entirely with stolen trinkets. Rings, spoons, and anything sparkly paved their floor like mosaic tile. The detectives arrived to find the twins hanging upside down from a chandelier fashioned out of recycled bottle glass. Finnegan, oh nut, Juniper squawked. We haven't seen you in ages. Jinx fluttered down. Here to accuse us of felony shininess again? Finnegan's gaze swept the suite. Among glittering nonsense perched a shiny rectangular object, an official Treasury ration token. He flicked his tail. Notice anything missing in town today? Other than my last nerve? Juniper cawed. Other than your tact? Jinx added. Acorns, Finnegan said flatly. All of them. The twins shared a melodramatic gasp. That's terrible. And by terrible we mean impressive, Juniper whispered. Finnegan plucked the ration token. You two lifted this off a Treasury official. Spill. Jinx puffed. Fine. We spotted Mistress Hazel leaving Grand Central Oak way past quitting hour, lugging a suspicious briefcase. Shiniest latch we'd ever seen. We tried to snag it, professional obligation, but she hissed and hired a platoon of bats as bodyguards. Rude. Finnegan's eyes narrowed. Mistress Hazel Chatterworth. The comptroller was the squirrel equivalent of a Swiss watch, perfectly wound and unlikely to fraternize with bats. On the other paw, she had access to every vault key. Pip scribbled, Should we confront her? Finnegan shook his head. We'll surveil first. People lie, tales don't. They made their way to the treasurer's terrace, a gated cluster of luxury hollows draped in ivy. Hazel's apartment glowed amber behind acorn oil lamps. Through binoculars, Finnegan observed her pacing, gnawing on something. Not an acorn, but a hazelnut. Curious. Pip pulled out a dossier. According to her personnel file, Hazel's allergic to hazelnuts. Officially, Finnegan murmured, which means unofficially, she's addicted. Black market hazelnuts fetch a premium. Motive enough for embezzlement? They crept closer. Pip rapidly clicked a beetle lens camera through a knothole. Inside, Hazel opened a floor panel, revealing a secret chute. She rolled a miniature barrel into it. The barrel sported the Treasury emblem. Finnegan's heart thumped. Bingo! But before they could move, a low voice croaked, Hands or paws where I can see 'em. Inspector Talon perched above, flanked by two stout robins with taser twigs. What's the big idea, Detective? Talon demanded. Spying on the comptroller? This is harassment without warrant. Finnegan remained calm. You want the missing acorns? They're under her floor, on a slip night to River Market. She's preparing tonight's shipment. Hazel burst through her front door, eyes ablaze. What is the meaning of this? I am a public servant. Talon scowled. Detective claims you're also a thief. Finnegan gestured to the open floor panel. Hazel slammed it shut with her tail and locked it. Empty paranoia, she hissed. He falsifies evidence because I once said his trench coat looked dated. Finnegan shrugged. If the floor's innocent, let's open it. Hazel's whiskers twitched. I refuse to indulge theatrics. Talon folded his wings. Detective? Without proof? Finnegan leaned forward. Proof walks on its own. Listen. They all fell silent. From beneath the floor came the faint rumble of rolling barrels. Talon's eyes widened. Hazel bolted. She kicked over a decorative mushroom lamp, extinguishing the light, and leapt out the rear window onto a vine zipline. Finnegan cursed. I hate it when they zipline. He and Pip launched after her. Talon flapped overhead, calling reinforcements. The chase zipped through the neon glow of Firefly street lamps. Hazel was nimble, hurtling between branches. Below, startled porcupines ducked, stinging needles of falling bark. Piff, puffed. She's heading to Dockleaf 12. Finnegan's mind sprinted faster than his paws. Hazel must be meeting the borrower to finalize the sale. If she reached the dock, the Acorns would vanish downriver forever. They cut through Nightingale Plaza, where a jazz band of frogs played saxophones carved from reeds. Hazel vaulted over the stage. Finnegan followed, snagging a sax burst of melody mid-air. The crowd erupted in cheers, thinking it was part of the act. Beyond the plaza sprawled industrial wetlands, lined with wooden piers. Dockleaf 12 jutted out, dimly lit. A lone figure cloaked in cattail fibers waited beside a barge stacked with barrels identical to those in Hazel's floor. Hazel arrived, panting. Payment! The borrower bowed, voice muffled. After inspection, Finnegan crashed onto the dock. Show's over, folks. Hazel spun, eyes glassy with desperation. You don't understand. The city would waste those acorns on commoners. I'm diversifying assets. Talon swooped down, backing Finnegan. Pip held a net woven of spider silk. The borrower raised two webbed hands. Webbed? The cloak slipped, revealing Commander Quincy Quack, the mallard head of Riverport Authority. Talon squawked. Quincy, you regulate exports? Quincy adjusted his sailor cap. Budget cuts? Have you priced breadcrumbs lately? Finnegan sighed. So Hazel steals the stash, Quincy launders it overseas, they split the profits in hazelnuts and breadcrumbs, Quincy huffed. I prefer the term creative redistribution, Finnegan advanced. Hand over the reserves, Hazel, backed against the barge. In a last gambit, she tipped a lever. The barge's mooring rope snapped. Current seized it. Quincy flapped onto deck. So long, flatfoots. Pip hurled the spider silk net but missed by a whisker. The barge drifted. Finnegan's brain fired. He seized a coiled fire hose vine attached to the dock, looped it over a protruding branch of the departing barge, and leapt. The vine tightened, slingshotting him over water. He landed on deck with all the grace of a potato. Hazel screeched, grabbed a stray paddle, and swung. Finnegan ducked, tail barely shaved. Quincy attempted to peck his eyes. Finnegan yanked a loose board years of woodpecker damage and brandished it like a bat. Behind them, Talon ordered constables into patrol boats, but current whisked the barge toward Rapids Row. No boat could follow. Finnegan blocked Hazel's paddle. You could have been content with a steady treasury job. Why go criminal? She spat wood splinters. Because I'm invisible. Everyone thinks accountants are boring. I wanted Quincy quacked agreement. And bread! Finnegan twisted, wrenching the paddle out of her grip. Hazel stumbled against a barrel, which burst. Acorn spilled in a crunchy avalanche, sending her skating across deck and straight into Quincy. They toppled, legs in comedic pretzel. Finnegan yanked the frayed rope, lassoing the pair together. Respect earned. Bread toasted. He rushed to the rudder, cranking hard starboard, but the rapids roared ahead. He'd stopped the thieves, but the entire city's acorn supply was about to scatter downstream like confetti at a squirrel wedding. His gaze darted to the deck's cargo crane. Idea. He fastened the crane's chain to a massive deadhead log floating nearby, locked the winch, and leaped back. The log's weight slowed the barge, jerking it to a near standstill. One problem solved. Now they were a stationary buffet for the rapids. From above came the whoosh of wings. Inspector Talon, towing a long rope ladder dangling from a patrol blimp, the Hawks kept one for aerial ticket writing. Talon shouted, "Need a lift?" "Just reinforcements," Finnegan called. Within minutes, Blue Jay constables swarmed the deck, cuffing Hazel and Quincy with acorn shell manacles. Pip somehow had paddled a miniature rowboat and clambered aboard, panting heroically. Finnegan's shoulders sagged, adrenaline spent. Stash secured, perps arrested. Coffee? Pip grinned. Double espresso acorn milk latte. Make it a triple. Back at Grand Central Oak the following morning, the vault bustled with volunteers returning barrels. City officials posted public apologies for temporary nut rationing. Finnegan found the note delightfully underwhelming. Mayor Robinette, a plump robin with spectacles, fluttered over. "Detective O'Newt, the city owes you gratitude." Finnegan waved it off. "Just doing my civic chew ties." But perhaps we rethink a security system that can be foiled by orthodontically enhanced bites. Robinette bobbed her head. "Already drafting new measures, titanium latches, round-the-clock woodpecker sentries, and mandatory lullaby playlists for security owls keeps them awake." Finnegan chuckled. Progress. Pip arrived with coffee cups balanced on his tail. "Chief, rumor mill says the Woodland Weekly nominated us for Most Nuts Pivotal Team." Finnegan winked. "It'll look good on your rerumming." Pip's cheeks puffed proudly. "Does this mean I graduate from intern to junior detective?" Finnegan pretended to ponder. "You did paddle a toy boat into Category 4 rapids, and took photos of Hazel's secret chute, and missed with a spider silk net." "Hey!" Finnegan offered his paw. "Welcome aboard, Junior Detective Chesterton," Pip squeaked, tail vibrating like a tuning fork. Before leaving, Finnegan visited Hazel's now thoroughly investigated apartment. With legal warrant in paw, he opened the floor chute. A small forgotten satchel lay inside. He opened it expecting more acorns, but found a single book. Accounting jokes for squirrels because numbers are funny too, with Hazel's initials embossed. Finnegan sighed. Poor kid just wanted appreciation. He placed the book into an evidence bag labeled Tragic Irony. On the way out, a cricket chirped in oddly hypnotic rhythm. Finnegan smirked. "So, that's your tune, huh?" He tossed it a crumb of hazelnut cake. The cricket bowed, best lead performer in the Underbark Cabaret. That evening, Finnegan and Pip sat atop Knot and Coil's roof, cityscape twinkling beneath. There seemed to be no— Pip raised his latte. "To acorns, may they roll back into the vault and stay put." Finnegan clinked his cup. "And to mysteries, may they keep life crunchy." Below, the bustle continued. Hedgehog scooters, robin baristas, beaver carpenters, all blissfully unaware of how close they'd come to a winter without acorns. Finnegan scanned the horizon. Somewhere, another case waited, perhaps, involving missing maple syrup or counterfeit mushroom permits. Whatever it was, the Knot and Coil Detective Agency would answer. For as Finnegan O'Nut often said, in this city, crime never sleeps, though it occasionally hibernates. And with that, he tipped back the last of his coffee, tail flicking contentedly against the starry sky.